What's up, guys? Sub-Zero here, back for another VOD review. Today, going to be VOD reviewing Rank 2 North America Flancy. I've talked enough about, how this guy, 248 games, 1800 LP is an insane stat line, but we really have to talk about just what his last run has looked like here, from about 1300 LP all the way up to 1800. He has not bot forward a single game in his past 20, 2.1 AVP. The stats speak for themselves. This guy is just, he's a beast. This guy, that's why he's the GOAT, one of the GOATs, I would say, for sure, of China. And so let's watch another Flancy VOD. I've talked a lot about new patch coming out next, on Wednesday. But honestly, the more that I look at it, the more that I realize that, the new patch isn't going to change things that much. It's mostly going to be the same patch. And also, shout out to Riot Games. You scared me very hard because somebody tweeted that they were going to get rid of this kind of spectator API, which I thought was going to ruin the ability for people to spectate matches like this. But then apparently that has been rolled back. That was just kind of a temporary thing. So yay, I still get to spectate all of these awesome games, which is so important to me, honestly. I love watching games like this because if I couldn't, I'd have to. I don't know if Flancy streams. He might be, but sometimes players like this will not stream, and then if that was not the case, then these games would literally be lost to the flow of time. They'd be just obscured. All right. So we start off with a great orb, by the way. Obviously, the Malzahar plus the Swain orb, and so I think from a lot of people's perspectives, you would be just playing this into a straight up Crystal Gambit Malzahar game. I think a lot of people would, say that. You take something like a last second save, play towards that. I doubt it'd be pumping up here. Wow, he really likes pumping up that much. More than last second save his first target. Maybe he doesn't like either of these, but pumping up has been buffed. It does give the 10 base now and then 1 per round, which is, not bad. I'm just a bit surprised to see that be the take here, and I think it kind of has to be. Treasure Hunt I'm not the biggest fan of in spots like this. It's also been nerfed, but he is going to go for it. So it is a Treasure Hunt grab from Mr. Flancy here, and we are going to power up Malz and get that immediate Noxious Trap 2-1. It is a loot subscription this game, so we do know we're going to kind of have a little bit of extra econ that we're going to get here, but the thing that kind of scares me, and wow, yeah, we're going to make the full... Man, this is why Flancy is such a beast and why he's so interesting to watch, because from this spot, we just full slam the Stair Axe here, which means... And check this out. We sell the Swain. We are saying we do not care about playing any kind of Crystal Gambit Malzahar game. We are going to play a different game plan from this spot, which is interesting. Yeah, I think so many people would be like, I must play Crystal Gambit Malz from here. And honestly, is it... part of it? Honestly, the more that I look around, I don't even really see anyone who's angling that hard for it. Maybe this guy, but he's got slam in, so I doubt it. So the reason why we do this is just because we can get a really good slam out of this. We can make Stair Axe here and feel, fantastic about this being a slam. We could potentially have win streaked in this spot. Our last fight, obviously we lost, but our board's pretty strong now, especially, getting this Koboko in. Now our front line is fantastic. The more that I watch good TFT, and yeah, actually, it should be the Zac so that we get Wraith in. The more that I watch, good players play TFT, it really just comes down to play a strong board at all times. Anytime you can make a slam and play a strong board around it, you should. If you have the option of oh, I could have perfect items and play this broken line, or I could just win streak and be really strong in a solid line, you always pick the latter. And that's what Flancy's going for here. Holding on to an extra, heavyweight in this Koboko here. It could just be a +1, or it could be, more direction towards what we are actually playing this game. We're going to be third pick on Carousel here. So a lot of options as far as what we want to take here. A lot of stuff taken here, actually. So we're going to end up taking the glove off Carousel. Remember, we made that Stair Axe as our first slam here. So, we're sitting on just the chain right now. So, I don't think it's going to be a steadfast slam, but we'll see. On a 2 streak here, so Flancy could make the call to, it is a steadfast slam. Okay, you know what? The answer is always slam, okay? These are the things that I've learned. We're on a 2 streak here, but what's kind of interesting is we opted to not level here. The idea being, I think, that Flancy is making the call that leveling is not going to change any combat here. This is one where, we're probably just going to straight up lose this fight. Get Koboko in, don't get Koboko in. We're always going to lose to this level 5 board. They're double slammed onto the Nico. That's just very, very hard to win. And then you think about people like this. Actually, this guy looks pretty strong, though. They are not done yet solo frontline there, Katarina. So we can probably win this. Who else do we have in our pool? This We Are But Cogs guy. This guy as well. His board's actually getting kind of strong, and he is also playing towards this kind of Ari comp. So you can see why, actually, it makes sense that Flancy, part of the reason why we wanted to opt out of this line. We didn't want to play around Swain so much because we know that he is going to be a contested unit. And you can see we're holding on to the Zac pair here. We are going to sell off the Koboko here, just saying making gold is king. That's the other thing that you see really, really good players do is just, always be interested in making gold. Putting a very, very high premium on that, and even something like the Koboko that could lead to a very strong level 6 with 4 heavyweight. He's going to opt to sell, which is kind of interesting. I don't know. Because you can't do both, right? You can't play strongest sport and just sell all your units, but he opts to say, it's selling this unit. It doesn't matter that much to me. I can find something better to play. I mean, obviously I have Juggernaut on level up, and then level 6, hey, we'll figure it out. Get Spat here, which adds an interesting wrinkle to the game plan, and I think also honestly is probably part of the reason why Flancy is thinking about this line that we are going to play towards this game, which, spoiler alert, I mean, you can see we're holding on to, high priority on these heavyweights. We're playing around a Malzahar. Heavyweights Malzahar is the line that I think we are really, really looking towards this game. Now, the kind of awkward thing with Spat is obviously you can't slam this into heavyweight immediately. You would need to reforge it there. So, we can't have that immediately. You need to reforge into the pan. I mean, Pandora's would actually allow you to reforge whatever you want from this. I don't want to restart mission. I think our board's pretty decent. It's pretty cheap, but I don't want to lose the Malz here. He's going to roll, and yeah, I mean, he hits Rig Shop here. He was actually looking at restart mission and just saying, give up on the Malz. It's fine here. We do hit our 4 heavyweight from the Rig Shop, and the die has been cast here. We are going to play towards the setup, which kind of funny is that Treasure Hunt, you need to spend this gold on rolls for Rigged Shop for to get the Treasure Hunt proc. So we used our free rerolls. We're still sitting at 0 out of 20 on both of these treasure chests here. The upside is we're econing hard, and we can actually get a lot of value out of using these rolls kind of whenever we want to, now that we have Rig Shop. Like, you could even roll on 6 if you want to. The problem is it would kind of kill our econ here. So we are just going to Peepo sit here for a bit. But yeah, I mean, I feel like this heavyweights comp, I don't know, it's kind of a little... It's fallen by the wayside, but I've seen people do really well with it. We saw the VOD from, it was Zuso, I think, who played it in the Citadel tournament. Yeah, I think because Crystal Gambit has been so dominant as a version, and it's so visceral. Oh my god, I cashed out double dupes. So many people are like, you must play the Crystal Gambit version, that I think these heavyweights have become a lot less contested. And if you're in a spot like this, I mean, there's an Ari plus Swain player in this lobby. It's very easy for you to say, okay, well then I'll just play Malz plus heavyweights, and then you don't have to worry about being contested by that guy. Kind of interesting as well. We're gonna hold on to the Lulu here, over even, like, we could just hold random Ari. I mean, maybe we have an idea about this Lulu. I guess we'll see here. All right, with, if we're thinking about hopefully getting a Reforger, you could take Belt and just kind of pray that you get a Reforger at some point. And then, you can just Reforge this this Spat into it. We are going to hold Lulu pair here. I mean, I doubt you could go for some kind of crazy pivot into Bastion Lulu, but I mean, I doubt it. It seems like a little bit excessive there. And then you still also run the issue of having to reforge this Spat anyway. It's not like that solves that issue for you. A lot of Crystal Gambit in this lobby, by the way. This guy going Crystal Gambit with the Nico, playing kind of like the 5 Crystal Nico idea, though probably going to be tough for him to hit Ari. Yeah, this is going to be kind of rough for the other player, because this is not the person who was originally rolling Ari plus Swain. So they're going to kind of end up running into each other a little bit, which is part of the reason why I also think it makes so much sense to play this variation here. Going to power him up here. He takes Rocket Grab, actually. Oh, wow. So I'm kind of interested. I was thinking of maybe like Smolder. I don't know why I said, I think I said Smolder because he just put a Smolder onto the board there. I was thinking of Classy on this unit. I like Classy on heavyweights a lot, just because getting extra heavyweight is very, very good. What's kind of interesting though is Rocket Grab. I mean, it gives you obviously a nice shield and pulls units into range. Turns your Darius into like a little bit of utility. The thing is, like, the pulling them into range, in my opinion, is not very good, because like he already kind of pulls units into range by the fact that he just gives himself resets. You can see here actually that we pick up the Rammus here, and we're rolling really aggressively, and oh my god, that was actually a 5-3 cost shop of all units that were good. That was insane. I've never seen anything like that. But you can see here actually we're prioritizing the Rammus quite highly. And it's this idea of heavyweight spat on Rammus, which is another, cool, smart way to, use the heavyweight spat. Normally people back in the day, they'd throw it onto like Malzahar, but he's saying, I don't really want to do that. Oh my god. these rolls are crazy. I mean, this is the power of Rigged Shop, and also the power of, wow, we cashed out into a Darius too. So now we also have 6 Dariuses, but the big thing is we have Rammus 3 here. Gonna make BT Sterox onto the Darius here. Still, the rest of our items quite awkward here, actually. Like, I don't know what you even build from here, because you have the Noxious here, so you don't really need to. I mean, actually, I think Pandora's is actually a fantastic pickup here. It is funny. I believe the PBE says they're nerfing Blood Rage next patch. So, I mean, the stats, I guess, say that this one is kind of broken. But yeah, I mean, this is everything that we could ever want here. Allows us to play for perfect items. Allows us to reforge this spat, which we're literally going to do next round into the pan here. You can see actually we're rolling really, really deep so that we can... Oh, I mean, so he's just going to full on reforge this round here with that and make the heavyweight spat. Okay. Could have made a Fawn, but actually opted not to make the Fawn here. And is going to make Supreme Cell as the second one. Yeah, this is something that you actually see a good bit in this comp. So quick to actually make the double spat instead of the Fawn, I think is one of those things that goes underappreciated. Like, a lot of people be like, oh, what a high roll, he got a spat. But I think a lot of people would have been like, you know, they kind of would have got a brain jammed there and been like, oh, I mean, do I make a Fawn? Fawn's really good. Or do I make this? And no, he immediately says, nope, I'm going to make the heavyweight spat and I'm going to make the Supreme Cell emblem here. Heavyweight spat going to be so good onto this Rammus here, just playing for this giant, super tanky, 6,000 HP Rammus here. I mean, it's fantastic. And then, you know, the Supreme Cell into Malz, I mean, not only does it give him an Execute to work with once we get up to higher levels of Supreme Cell, I think right now, actually, no, yeah, I mean, we hit Darius 3, it's definitely going to be Darius for now. But, you know, once we hit 4 Supreme Cell, which we can potentially hit later this game, you know, you're going to have those double Supreme Cells, and for now it is just 2 Supreme Cell on a board that you wouldn't otherwise have it. So just going to take highest cost here. We're going to take the Varus. I don't think with any idea that we're going to get into Varus down the line, but I mean, just a good unit here. And yeah, I mean, Flancy, I don't know. I feel like he's played this game so well, and he's done this thing that like really good TFT players do, where like he makes it look easy, but he's making so many of these micro decisions. You know, choosing, like I said, to make those spats, I think was very, very smart. You know, knowing to play the Rammus on the board with the idea that we're going to get to heavyweight spat later, and then obviously stuff like Rig Shop, and then just rolling really aggressively as well in spots like this in order to proc Treasure Hunt. I think he's just done all of this really, really nicely this game and has put himself into an amazing spot. And I mean, we're 8 Malzahars here. We're still 2 out of 20 on that treasure chest, and then we're gonna have another treasure chest coming up next stage, right? So yeah, so we're gonna be in kind of an interesting spot here as far as that. He opts to go for the bow on the Darius to look for Titans. I do think I think it's Titans. It could be GS actually. We'll see. I will say, the more that I've seen people with Titans on this unit, the more it seemed like it's quite important, because if you don't go Titans on this guy, he can just get perma CC'd and be useless here. And so we'll see what ends up going on there. But yeah, actually, it's kind of awkward, because you really would like to push levels. And oh, man, I mean, okay, now we have no reason. He's just gonna make the GS here. Okay, so he gets it and says, you know what, I can't. I mean, I'm not actually sure if he would have preferred Titans or GS here. I think if you look at the stats will say GS, because the stats always say GS, because this item's kind of broken. But I would be curious, actually, if he, you know, had the option to build both. Gets the JG, so he's going to make that here, and then we need to reforge these, ideally into tank items to make less Rammus item here. I mean, could even just be that redemption here. He's looking at... I mean, he's trying to ask himself, is there something better here? And I don't think there is. Yeah, we just make Spirit Visage. I think this makes perfect sense. Especially also, wow, I mean... I was gonna say, I don't know if Flancy's thinking this, but he definitely is. Leave the anvil open here, because remember, we're in loot sub. What if we get another spat or pan down the line? Then we can crack this open and look for, you know, another Supreme Cell, another you know, heavyweight emblem, anything like that. So very, very nice stuff from Flancy, just playing, you know, max cap, good TFT. I'm gonna level here and just roll a bit for 3 Supreme Cell. He's actually, yeah, gonna roll all the way down here to crack one of these chests here, just because the value of that is pretty high. Gets basically his gold back from that chest, and he's actually gonna opt to continue rolling here. Can look for Jayce 3, and yeah, looks like he is gonna roll for it. Yeah, I mean, he's gonna keep this as another possibility to hit here. I mean, I think it makes perfect sense when you're playing Rig Shop. And the other thing is, remember, we're loot subscription, we're our treasure hunt here. I mean, we're gonna have items for this Jayce. Like, you don't need to, you know, sometimes you're in games where you're never going to get to Jayce items because you've made items for everybody else here. We're not in that kind of scenario. We are in a spot where we can get it. We've cashed Lichbane here. Okay, here's another big question. Do you slam this onto Malz and just say, good enough here? you can reforge this, but there's a lot of, you know, downside to reforging it. You can hit even worse stuff. The nice thing about reforging, though, is we have a huge tank to play for, a huge melee carry to play for, and a huge AP carry to play for. So there's a lot of not misses in there, you know, hits as we would call them, I guess. So there, I do think there's a lot of value in re-rolling this here, and just looking for like broken stuff on Darius. Oh, and we're gonna opt to take the Titans. So this must mean that he is opting to move then an item off of Darius to go Titans here. Gets the Wit's End here. I mean, it's not the worst item in the world. And yeah, okay, so this confirms that he actually does prefer Titans as the last item here, and he's just gonna move GS down, move the Supreme Cell emblem up to Darius here, or onto Jayce here. That's usually where you see it kind of like sitting in these type of setups, just because, I mean, triple damage item onto Malz here makes a lot of sense here. And the board's doing pretty well. We are still reforging this artifact here. It's greed, but I mean, sometimes greed is good here. We're gonna win this fight. 27 HP, a little bit low, right? I would be shaking my boots a little bit after that last loss, but 27 still a lot to work with here. Roll into Mittens. I mean, not amazing still in my mind. And if you do read this round, you get to see 2 artifacts, which is a nice thing because you have a minion round here. So I wonder if it's going to be another reroll on this. I mean, it's just so crazy that we're rolling this deep here. Ooh, okay, so we're going to fight this guy here who did make it to the Nico 3 and the Ari 3 in the setup, so we'll see if our board's good enough to beat theirs. The Rammus getting blown up here, and yeah, we actually get blown up by the Nico. This is a rough fight for us, honestly. We get kind of our clocks cleared here by this Nico board, just showing the power of Nico. Plus, I mean, getting all these cash outs from Crystal Gambit here, and top 4 locked in for us. Hit Unending Despair here. I mean, no, I mean, still, I mean, Rammus, I guess, 675 shield. I mean, I guess you keep it for Rammus, right? And then you move one of these items over to Darius. I mean, it's an okay size shield. It's not that big. And then we're going to cash out another item here. Get a Declaw, actually, which is pretty good. I think, you know, you can move the Unending Despair over to Rammus. And then, yeah, honestly, the Declaw as well. And then just throw all these onto Jayce here. And we're going to play Elise Sin is our +1. Yeah, I don't think that makes any sense. I don't know what that was. I'd really like to live another fight here. We rotate into the Akali board here. This game is close. This positioning is actually pretty bad versus the Akali. Oh, no. Oh, my God. I think we actually, I mean, a rare misstep from Flancy here. I think we actually took too long on our pivot there, and we had Malz same size as Akali, and we're going to die by -2 HP. Oh, my God. I mean, still a fantastically played game from Flancy, but it also just shows what an unforgiving game TFT is. Like, legit, if he's on the opposite side there versus Akali, I'm pretty sure he does win that fight, but he actually allowed himself to get wrapped by the Akali and, or the Katarina. I don't know how many times I said Akali, if I did. And this comp is so obnoxious to play into when people are playing it correctly. And so, a very solid 4th from Flancy. Really well played game. I think if he played this very slightly differently, he could be going top 2. I mean, he might even, like, win the lobby. This Nico board ends up being pretty insane as well. I mean, very high capped lobby, and honestly, a great 4th from Flancy. So, hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please, wow, this is a crazy setup as well. The Mighty Mech Luchador mech getting eaten as well here. I also want to see where this game goes, but I mean, like, here, I'll give you guys bonus. We'll watch this fight really quick, and then, like, we'll kind of see who's okay, honestly, it just kind of looks like the Crystal Gambit guy's winning out, I will say. It looks like they've just cashed out enough Crystal Gambit value that, I mean, it's impossible for them to lose here. Yeah, I mean, probably is the case. Even from this crazy Mighty Mech setup, the Nico is just so huge with this Titans JG Edge of Night here. Okay, well, that will be the game then. And yeah, an FF from Darth Nub, perfect. So that I don't have to watch the rest of it. So, hope you guys enjoyed this video as always. If you did, please like, comment, and subscribe. Check out my Twitch and Metafy. I'm on the links down below, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you guys for watching as always.